Hello and welcome to About 6 Acres. I'm Juana.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're talking a little bit, just a little bit, about spring gardening and our seed starting setup. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
All right, getting ready to work on a project that should be fairly simple. We're at our classroom. This is where we keep most of our animal feed and animal supplies along with our freezer, but we also use it as a temporary space to set up our grow tent for our seedlings. So we have the area cleared out so we can put up our grow tent. We're gonna get the supplies and start assembling so we can get some seed started in the next week or two. Got our grow tent, poles, getting ready to assemble, and then we have like 2 little shelving units that we'll put in there. That has worked well. Get our lights, get things set up. Hopefully no aggravation getting these poles together because they're not labeled, so we're gonna have to use our wits and make sure the poles line up correctly. So I think we're gonna set it there because there's outlets that we can hook the lights to. Should be easy. And then that window actually adds a little bit of light that we can open. There's some side windows on the grow tent too, so get some sunlight coming in from a couple directions. So let's see how we do. All right, we're gonna get started assembling. We're not gonna be talking much. We're just gonna get it on.
Get her done. Where do we want to set the base?
We'll put this on last.
Do you want it fully in front? Or do you want to...
We'll move it. When you get figure this out. There's
Here, or...
I think vertical's gotta go double.
Oh yeah, the ones that have both prongs.
Maybe.
That would make sense, because if you put it in here, I feel like you need another one.
So there's 4. Okay, these go, the ones with the double sides go on the top. So they get hooked up.
Oh, like these?
Yeah.
Are there...
Corner?
Oh, that's...
Now I'm confused.
Wait, let's see, because there are those pieces. These are connected. See, these have holes on the top as well.
I think yes.
Yeah, so basically on the bottom, these should be the top ones. Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to put together holes, put them in.
Alright, so both of these belong with one of these.
And then this grow tent I basically bought when I lived in the suburbs to grow. I had like 2 hydroponic buckets that I was trying to grow stuff in our garage. So we had some tomato plants grow, but it just got so hot in that garage it just fried everything. So we're going to use it for our seed starting. We used it the past couple years. Worked out well. We're going to use it again. See if we aligned it right.
Okay, so these face. Oh, they're double-sided. So that's good.
That was super easy.
Yeah.
Alright, now we got to put the cover. And that which one is the bottom?
Is it this? Is that the bottom?
This.
So this side we want to be
This side of the bottom.
okay. Yeah.
This is the bottom. Alright, so you go there.
Yeah. This is how yeah. Because where it says this. Yeah, this is Evo Sun.
Alright,
So this will it is because this zips all the way around here.
yeah, this is like. Is this a window man?
I just wouldn't make sense that this would be upside down. So that's does that make more sense?
Like that in there. Yeah, see if you can pull that up because it'll go down.
See, now what I need is for this, your help on this side because this is all cramped up. It's gotta settle back in. See here? Yep.
Nice.
That was probably the hardest part.
is hard.
That just needs to be pulled.
Okay. It's a little bit under 6 foot. I think it's like a 6x4x4. What's long? We got a little window inside, the door.
Is there a zipper on that motorcycle?
So the inside's got the Mylar. It's got a little pouch that you can, I guess, put your journal and things in. We'll hang lights on the top here. And then we have these little outlets that we put the extension cords through. And then this will hold our seeds for a couple weeks.
It is true that you can do your seed starting in your dining room table, and that's an excellent option if you have a separate dining room table available, because then it is right there and you're constantly seeing it and constantly being able to pay attention to them. And that's great. A lot of people have basements as well. We don't have basements in Texas, so we don't have that option. We also don't have a walk-in attic, and for the most part, the additional room that we have, there's just not easy enough space to get around for seed starting. So having this additional area has worked out great for us. The biggest things we had to troubleshoot were temperature. We needed to be able to manage the temperature well. And even though this is enclosed, we still use a heater to help out to keep the humidity up and the temperature pretty steady.
Yeah, and we'll either use a little small electric heater that we put in there that is set to a certain temperature and is also on a timer and keeps the heat in there and on the floor. Pretty much everything is stable so it doesn't get knocked over. But we also have a portable AC heater dehumidifier unit that we bought for this area because we also put our brooder chicks in here sometimes too. So we wanted to keep the temperature warm when it was cold outside, and then cooler when we did it in the summer. So we have that option as well over here, and it works well.
Mm-hmm. So overall, like I said, it doesn't always have to be that you have your seed starting station in the house. It just needs to be a space that will have a steady temperature that you can get to easily and that you won't just forget about it, which is something that could happen. We're about a week behind from where we were last year when it comes to our seed starting. Now, there's a number of reasons why, but we're not sweating it at all.
Those seeds will definitely germinate on time, and the temperature where we have them is going to be nice and warm, so I think they'll catch up.
That's one of the great things about when you do seed starting is there is a little bit of wiggle room. And you do always have the option to direct sow, which was something that we took advantage of last year, and it helped us a lot. But obviously, the more stuff that we can get started early, the better we feel.
This grow tent is used for our seed start. It has a little shelving in there, and the most useful feature about it is it's enclosed from the separate building. So if we have an issue out here, stabilizing temperature, we can stabilize temperature and light in here. And the cool thing, it's got little windows so you can peek in, check out humidity and everything. It's all lined with the Mylar, so the light is reflective off. We have different strands of LED grow lights inside. It's got a zipper door, so it keeps humidity in, but it also has these vent holes that we can open to let some humidity out. We have a little rack that's used for our seed starting, so we can put our long trays here. We can put some heat mats on top if we need it. And then once we pot up and do things, we can utilize the floor and change the lighting all around. But a good little space to get our trays of seed started and then pot it up later on. And then we can have a workstation out here when we're ready to harden things up, we can pot up, take them outside, and get them planted.
At the end of the season, we're always on the lookout for what gardening supplies might be available. So we were able to get this shelving unit. I think it was for $9 at Walmart, and it wasn't something that we were shopping for at the time, but I think it was originally $40, and so we were able to get a really good deal on something that was quite useful. And the lights were something that we got from Harbor Freight, which also were on sale. And with the heat mats, that's the other thing that we were able to get at the end of the season. So I know it's the beginning of the season for a lot of us if you're down south in Texas, but if you're up north in an area that is not, you know, gardening right now, that might be something to look at, is just the clearance areas, because some of these things work out to be very, very useful, especially if you can get them at a reasonable price.
We also keep our peppers that we have overwintered inside the classroom because, again, we can control the temperature inside. We have access to water, so we have them in the pots with the drip trays on the bottom. And the great thing is, once we're done with the seeds, if it's still too cool outside, we can take these pots and transfer them inside into the grow tent and really get them going, because they'll like the humidity, they'll keep the heat in, and I think these LED lights really do a good job in supplying enough ample light for them, which we also keep on a timer. So once we do the seeds, we keep it on a timer, and then once they start growing, we can decrease the amount of sunlight that they get and just that. So always fun. Have a timer. That's important.
If you're an experienced gardener, you probably already know this, but if you're new to gardening and you're starting a garden this year, let us tell you that there is no one right way to garden. There are so many ways that you can have success, and there are so many things that you can do to experiment and to make your own garden that much better. So even though we share things that have worked for us and that we want to try because we love to experiment, so there's a lot of things that we do not even knowing if they're going to work the way we think that they are, but we like to experiment. Like we said, no one right way to garden. We have friends that are up north in high elevation, and last year they had their best gardening season ever, and it was through learnings that they've had over the past couple of years, and through experimentation and through being meticulous about their records. So don't be afraid to try different things, and don't be afraid to build on your own success.
And failure is a good teacher, so be okay with failing.
That is another very good thing. The other item that we'll mention is there are so many things that you can get to make your gardening life better, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need it. And by that, I mean there are so many gadgets and things that are not necessary. You can plan around it. You can do different things. Like we talk about, we have our lights on a timer. It is so useful. Do you need lights on a timer? No, but if you have a timer, it really, really does help. The grow tent works really well for us, but it might not work for others. So, you know, you don't need everything.
I will say, get durable materials that won't break down, because even though like some grow trays or some pots may be cheap, you get what you pay for. So in the long run, you may end up paying a lot more because you have to get more cheapy stuff because it keeps breaking. And that's something that we went through. So we invested in some quality seed starting materials. So we're going to test those out this year and see how they work.
And that's something that we're really excited for. So next week, we're going to actually be doing more of our seed starting. We're going to get some good soil. We'll be getting our plan together and sharing some of that. And we'll be sharing what supplies we have. So we will do another video for that. But we just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek as to some of the stuff that we're thinking about now that we're going to be getting into. Now, we are expected to have crazy cold weathers next week. We're in Texas, so 20 degrees is Arctic for us.
It's freezing. It's cold, so
Yeah, 20 degrees is below freezing.
protecting the animals, protecting what plants we have here. So that's why we got the heater systems. Got to worry about the frozen faucets.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting week, but like I said, we are a little bit behind what we were last year. Nothing to be concerned about for us, but we do want to start, we do want to get going on some of that stuff. We'll share a lot more next week. Thank you so much for watching.
And remember, you are awesome and you are loved.
Until next time.